love this type of stuff. That's what I actually want to like major in, like social media and marketing. So
It's fun. It's a fun time to major in something like that. You guys are Hartnell, or were you
Yeah.
guys?
Yeah, Harno, yeah.
Dude, that's a nice school, by the way.
yeah, it's pretty.
I went to JC up in north, way up north. It's College of Siskiyous.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, it's up in the right at
Super
the
tall
base of
trees.
Shasta.
Yeah.
And it was nothing like what you guys have at Hartnell. That place is nice.
Really, it's not nice over there.
Not like this. I mean, this is. Or I guess Hartnell. It's super nice. We had a chamber breakfast last week there, so I walked in. My daughter is on the Salinas High swim team, and they practice there.
Yeah.
So I see it a little bit, but you get a Starbucks on site. I mean, everything there's new.
Oh yeah. Because Salinas High like swims at Hartnell.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
yeah, but I've been on there a little bit, but going through the campus for that breakfast thing, it's pretty sweet.
It's pretty cool for the community college. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so everything's recording, everything's ready to go. So
Oh,
whenever you guys
Oh,
want
So
to
you
be
watch my language and all that.
yeah. Well, it's supposed to be pretty casual, pretty like fun. Not super serious, but
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, when do we start?
whenever.
Oh, we can start.
Yeah, everything's recorded,
Okay,
everything's ready
cool.
to go.
All right. Hello. Today I'm with Mr. Jones, Mr. Ian Jones. Would you like to be referred as Ian or Mr. Jones?
No, Ian, because Mr. makes me sound way too old. So
Okay.
yeah, go with Ian, please.
Okay, we're cool with that. How's your day been going today so far?
Good.
Ian?
Good.
Good.
It's not raining yet, so we're good.
Okay, cool. Ian, could you share how you became involved with the Salinas Regional Sports Authority, our nonprofit organization that manages the Salinas Regional Soccer Complex?
Yeah, absolutely. So I met Kurt Golnick, president of the SRSA, and Catherine Kabrinsky about 3 years ago.
Mhm.
And they just did, they heard about my background in sports marketing and thought maybe I could add some value and help with this project.
How did you get into sports marketing?
I just had a passion for sports. Played a little bit in college, all through high school, and when I graduated college, I wanted to do something that I enjoyed.
Okay, I respect that.
So yeah, so for me, I fell into a job with the San Diego Chargers right out of college.
Really? What was your role on the San Diego Chargers?
It was a couple different roles. I started out selling their new club seats, which back then the club level areas were brand new to the NFL,
Uh-huh.
and then sold suites and then sponsorships.
Would you say you got those connections through the college that you went to?
A little bit, yeah, through the athletic department, but really it was just I kept pounding them with. I was relentless with my follow up. I'd show up and.
A lot of
So
perseverance.
either I was going to a lot of perseverance. I was going to show up every day with donuts until they hired me, essentially. So, yeah.
Love that. Given your diverse career, Ian, what personal values or experiences have most influenced your approach to leadership and community engagement within the sports industry?
So there's a few different ones. I'll just use a sports analogy. Somebody like Drew Brees was at the Chargers when I was there. He came in as a heralded quarterback, got hurt, and they didn't think he was ever going to play again. But he worked his butt off in physical therapy and outside. Nobody knew what he was doing to get healthy again. Gets healthy, Chargers trade him to the Saints, and he goes on to win the Super Bowl and set all these records. And that his perseverance, I already had some of that. That's how I got in there. But then the quietly working behind the scenes, just day in and day out, just the daily habits was something I learned from a lot of those guys. People like Junior Seau, who'd be in the weight room at 5 a.m. So I was in there at 5 a.m. You just try to pick up little things from people that are around you that are doing well and have been doing something well for a long time.
So pretty much just pick up on the traits that you see that like people are doing successful in life and try to like incorporate into your daily routine.
That's exactly right. And then we had, because it's San Diego, we had a lot of executives there that was where they wanted to retire. So we had a lot of the best of the best, and they wouldn't leave. So we got to learn from a lot of those guys.
That's a pretty great story because myself, I love football. So like I'm a big football guy, but love to hear that story. Yeah. Is there anything else you wanted to say on that?
No, that's
Was it? Okay, reflecting on your tenure, Ian, as Senior Director of Sports and Entertainment at Blue Jeans Network, what strategies did you find most effective in ensuring that sports events succeed and provide lasting economic benefits to the host communities?
Yeah, so telling the story of the event was great. So like I worked at the PGA Tour for roughly 5 years, and those events involve a little over 100 nonprofits that we would impact in every community. So bringing people together, telling them the story about how all the money we raised from that event, 100% of it went to nonprofits. We weren't judging how much money we made, but how much we gave. And so seeing that, and a lot of that went to communities in Hayward and the East Bay, Castro Valley, where we were helping build, in this case, golf complexes, or just places for kids to go play golf, or enabling kids to go play golf. So that part, that was a lot of fun, and that was earlier in my career. So I always had that passion. And you see the kids, and you see the impact that it has on the kids and their families. We were able to give a sponsor's exemption to a local kid to play and compete in a professional golf tournament, and I think he placed in the top 5 or 6. Changed his life. So knowing that and hearing that message from him and his parents was pretty awesome.
So pretty much you love like being able to impact others' lives in a positive way through sports, and that's how you do it at by being the senior director of sports at Blue Jeans.
Yeah, and at Blue Jeans we took technology and just integrated it into that. So we were able to connect those same types of kids with professional athletes all over the world. It wasn't just relegated to that that area of the East Bay like I talked about. So the video technology of Blue Jeans enabled us to connect people like Drew Brees and pick a major athlete. We probably did Jerry Rice. We connect them with kids who were aspiring to play sports or to be in sports, and they were able to communicate that way. So we actually, at Big Poppy's retirement party down in the Dominican Republic.
You were there?
I was there.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and then we set up Blue Jeans on a dock on the water.
Yeah.
And it just happened to have it was like a little hut.
Yeah.
And we had ESPN there, and we connected people, his fans from Boston, through Blue Jeans video to congratulate him on his retirement. Yeah, and then so it just turned out one of his former teammates from college, or no, from semi-pro was there. He hopped in, and they had this big bonding experience and brought his kids in, and so yeah, the emotional tie into sports has always been fun.
Just for the viewers, what is Blue Jeans?
So Blue Jeans is a video conferencing technology.
Okay.
Yeah.
I gotta say though, Ian, you're a pretty cool person from these stories that you're saying right now. It's pretty interesting things right there. I enjoy that.
That's been fun.
Ian, where do you envision the Salinas Regional Soccer Complex in the next 5 to 10 years?
Well, I envision this place being one of the bigger sports attractions within California. There just isn't a lot of places up and down the coast that have this type of facility, let alone the type of management leadership that these guys have provided here. But we're centrally located, so we have the ability to pull from the Bay Area and pull from Central Valley, as well as all parts of Northern California. So I would anticipate this to be one of the most highly recognized sports facilities in Northern California.
I agree 100%, especially with all the talent in the area, in the Bay Area, like up in NorCal, like all like the say I coach for I was like an assistant coach. Mainly my focus on the team was like media and like motivation, like hype man. Like he told me like they'd be like, Coach Isaiah, you want to say anything? I'll be like, I'll say so this was the semifinals. They go into the state championship.
This is for soccer?
For soccer.
Okay.
For soccer, and they told me, Coach Isaiah, you want to say anything? And it's funny because in the first round of the state tournament, we had won, and my coach was like, do you want to say anything? And I was like let's win this whole thing. We didn't come this far to come this far. And then I was like, you guys want one ring? Because if you win CCS, which is Central Coast section, so it goes to section and then state. So we had won CCS, and we're losing 2-0 to Bellarmine in Santa Clara in the first 10 minutes. And we ended up winning that game 4-2.
Yeah.
And so like
partially because of your speech, probably, right?
Honestly, on the bench, well, because I'm on the sideline, right? So like we got scored on the first 10 minutes, two goals. I think they scored like the first 2 minutes of the first goal, and like like when like you get scored on, like it kind of demoralizes the team.
Oh yeah.
But like no, me like when we got scored on, I was cheering on the bench, like come on, like because we had like our chant. It's like we say Agi, and then the bench will say las, or like the fans will say las, and that's like translation to like águila. It's an eagle in Spanish. So because Alvarez is Eagles, the mascot.
Yeah.
So I was just chanting that on the sideline, and like the benches got super hyped, and we ended up like answering back another goal, like 10, 20 minutes later into like the half, and then we were down 2-1 at half. We got a penalty the next half. We scored, tied. Crowd was going crazy, and then we were just wearing them down. We just wanted it more, and then so like that goes back to the first round of state. So I was like, "You guys want one ring or you want two rings?" And then I took off my shirt, and everybody was just going crazy in the locker room, and like I just couldn't keep the spirit high. Like
Yeah.
coaches, like players feed off of when you're like high energized and when you're low, but I knew how important it was to stay high and never go low. So
Stay in the middle somewhere, and
Yeah.
in the middle or higher.
yeah, I would never drop below the middle. I would always stay up high, and I never realized that importance. So that was like my role on the team, and so like I was saying about the talent, like we just won the state tournament in D1 Division 1.
Yeah, no, I saw it. It was awesome. Everyone's following you guys.
Yeah, we
It's
beat
awesome.
Bellarmine, we beat De La Salle, we
Yeah.
beat Mountain View, we beat Sarah, we beat Clovis North, and we beat like Davis Senior, and which all were like ranked in like the top 15 in California. Some ranked like top 20. Clovis North before we beat them was ranked 6, and we beat them all.
So awesome.
Yeah,
It's a good story.
and we went undefeated. On top of that, 24 0 losses, 24 wins, 0 losses, and 2 ties. On top of that,
Fun.
it was
So that'll be something that 10 years from now, all you guys will be able to look back and say, we were a part of that.
exactly. An even better part about that is we're returning 8 of 11 starters.
Oh, so you got a chance to repeat.
Yeah, and they won CCS last year back to back, so this was back to back then state. And unfortunately, from NorCal and Cal South, they split up the state
Yeah.
for state champions. But next year, our AD was telling us that they're gonna have a true champion. Whoever wins from NorCal and Cal South, they play each other one game, true champion. So hopefully, we're trying to reach that goal next year, and then hopefully, most of the kids from the team will have like an impact at this facility for the talent wise.
That'd be awesome.
There's a lot of
Such a good story.
there's a lot of talent and a lot of kids that like could probably make an impact at this facility for some recognition,
Yeah,
some recognition. So
sure.
how do you think our Salinas Regional Soccer Complex benefits the local community, Ian?
Well, I coached all my kids. Well, I have two daughters. I coached them all up until they were, 14, 15 years old, and then I let the professionals take them. But I've always been a fan of either my kids are going to play sports or they're going to have a job. The sports is way better because the job, you're going to show up and may not like it, right? But you're going to go do it because you get paid and it's what your parents want you to do. Whereas sports, you can pick one that you might like, enjoy it with your friends. Same time, you're learning work ethic, leadership, how to get along with people, how to compete. Because every day we compete in our jobs, right? And that's what we do after you graduate. You're done playing sports, you're still competing. So to me, that's always been, so keeping kids out, getting as many kids out. I always tell all my kids' friends, you guys play as long as you can until you can't play anymore. Just keep playing for as long as you can. Because one day you'll look back and say, I wish. And keeping them outside, breathing fresh air, doing this versus picking up their phones or being on their computers is way better. Studies have shown that being outside and playing and doing sports, and a lot of companies, they hire athletes. They want former athletes. That's what we used to exclusively hire a lot of times. Were kids who competed in college because they had to study just like everybody else, but then they also had a workload of sports. So their time management is much more effective.
I agree with a lot.
So it just helps create well-rounded kids, and they learn how to deal with adults quicker. They learn how to deal with problems quicker. And a lot of problems other kids might face, they don't know how to deal with it. These athletes know how to navigate it.
I agree with a lot of what you just said, Ian. I agree 100% because some sports, we're like, dang, like why did I stop playing this, or why didn't I start playing this earlier? And now that I look back at like high school, like I should have like probably put more effort into it. Because now I see like some of my friends like running track or like playing basketball or soccer, like even like JUCO or like whatever division college it may be. It's just like I miss that. Like I wish like I was a part of something like that, and like I didn't realize how good I had it until like it's gone.
Yeah, that's the thing. Once you get to be my age and it's gone, you have the rec leagues, and that's about it.
Yeah, and
Even then, I don't have time for it. So it's fun.
yeah,
I think it's something that every kid should, put in their young, throw them out there, let them try everything.
they get lucky, they're really good at it.
Yeah, you
They're
never
playing
know.
something they love, and they're getting paid a lot to do what they love.
Yeah, and they're out there developing skills, and it's just so much life skills come out of sports.
No, yeah, I agree 100%, Ian. And what was the first moment you fell in love with soccer, and how did it shape your journey?
So I'm a soccer fan, but not a huge soccer fan. So I enjoy watching it. When I worked for Upper Deck Trading Card Company, it's a long time ago. It was the first MLS All-Star game. So MLS had just been formed, and they finally, I think it was the second or third year, they had an All-Star game. So I was out in Denver at their new facility, Toyota Center, and I was in the elevator going down to the field, and Garth Brooks, the country singer, he walked in. So him and I are talking about soccer, and he evidently is a huge soccer fan. He was going out there to sing national anthem.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and we hadn't done any soccer cards with MLS to date. That's why I was there, to see if it was something we were going to pursue at the time, because MLS had just started. We weren't sure. And I'm like, okay, Garth Brooks likes soccer. I might be able to get into this. And so, just kind of. And so I'm sitting there with the Toyota folks and all these other sponsors and people like us, licensees who MLS was courting to come and participate in the MLS. And they put on this massive show. The soccer fans are ridiculous, awesome. And this is an all-star game, not even a Portland Thorns game or something. And or something that's going on over in Europe, right? The way people live and die for soccer.
They do.
Yeah, they do. But
do.
in Denver, evidently, there's a huge soccer base. And we're looking around, we're like, okay, we can do this. And it was the first time, my first real experience of professional soccer. I'm like, okay, I get why they're here. I get why this is. And so from then on, I always kind of watched, and I enjoy soccer.
Yeah, I used to think soccer was whack until I started playing it, and I kind of I always loved atmospheres, and I always thought like basketball and like football had better atmospheres. And then I started playing soccer my senior year, and then I was like, my friends would always tell me about it, or I would like watch like some like clips or games, and it's like they really I feel like I really admire soccer fan bases, because they'll really go all out. They'll really die for their team. It's insane.
Well, and from an outsider's perspective, looking in from I'm a football, baseball guy, and I wrestled, and they don't score a lot, right?
Exactly.
And that was the part. It was hard to. It's like at the end of the time.
Exactly.
Is that really a game? But if you look and watch it, okay.
It's intense.
The bend it like Beckham, that's real, right?
Yeah.
You got the ability for those guys to do that. I mean, that's, yeah.
I feel like it's harder to like play with your feet moving forward than like running with the football. I mean, like both, it takes a lot of talent, but football is more physical, running through someone, and soccer's like you can't run through someone with the ball with your feet.
No.
Like you have to like finesse and technicality.
Yeah.
So I admire that. But yeah, definitely from an outsider's perspective,
Yeah.
like 0-0 is not very moving. It's not very like
No.
it's not appealing at all.
No, but if you know the game and understand it, then it's like, okay.
Exactly. I feel the same way, 100%.
And I also love how soccer is like the first sport every kid learns.
You think so?
Absolutely. And that's the first sport. My wife played a little bit JC ball, soccer, so she coached our kids in soccer. That's the first sport that they learned. And I feel like that's almost every kid. The first thing they do is go play soccer. Throw them out there, let them kick a ball. It's natural, right?
Yeah.
So that part of it's pretty cool with soccer to me too. It just relates, it's relatable for the youth.
You know what? You know the thing about it? I feel like even my friends that don't like soccer, I feel like most of them have played like soccer when they first started out.
I think everybody at one point has played soccer.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's actually really true. Okay, Ian, given that a community is united through soccer, what advice would you offer to young people who love the game but may not have the opportunity to play professionally?
Well, just not every. I mean, the top 2% of high school athletes go play D1, and then it goes down from there as far as percentage of kids that can actually play in college. Even there is a lot of opportunity to play after high school, but facts are just it doesn't. There's not a lot of kids that are willing to put in the work or have the talent. So, but in college, you see this in colleges now. Every college just about has some sort of rec program where they're actually they compete. They're competitive. And so if these kids keep playing, I mean, you can come out here and play in rec leagues as adults, right? So I think, if you can't play in college, that's okay. You do go as far as you can in high school and do whatever, but you can keep playing as a recreational activity. And then, your family can play, your wife can come out and watch, they can come out and play, the kids can then get out and play. So it just gives you that outlet for everyone to get out and do something and bond with the community. That's what this place is here, right? It kind of brings everybody together.
So you're like saying, even if you don't like go professional or like D1, you still want to go to college. You can still do like intramural.
Yeah, intramural's big. Club sports are huge, and some of those intramural teams are good, and they travel.
Really? They
Yeah,
travel?
Some of them do.
did
My
not know
daughter's going to Grand Canyon for softball, and they have an intramural softball team that travels, intramural soccer team that travels.
It's pretty cool. I didn't know that.
I didn't either. I found some of that out, but it was interesting that that's because everyone still wants to play, but they're just not at that collegiate level.
Yeah. It's funny though, because I've heard some like D1 athletes or like players on like whatever sport, like is it intramural like basketball. Some like players from the actual basketball team will like join the intramural. I've heard.
Yeah,
I heard about that. I thought that was pretty funny.
I doubt their coaches appreciate that.
Yeah. I don't think their coaches would know about that.
Yeah.
But if you could play a soccer match with any historical figure or soccer legend, who would it be and why?
Probably Pele. Just because, when I was a kid growing up, he was the big name. We didn't know much about him because TV, they weren't, the broadcast rights weren't always there, so you only got to see very little. But that would probably be the big, yeah, I'd probably be him because he's more historical to me than, who am I thinking of? The guy with all the tattoos.
David Beckham?
Beckham. Yeah, Beckham. I like Beckham. I like watching him play. But Pele was he kind of has some mystique around him. He's not as, the media wasn't around like it is now, so we don't really know as much about him.
He's like Wilt Chamberlain-esque.
Yeah, kind of. But even Wilt had more media around him, right? Because NBA had, we had access to it. But yeah, somebody like that would be fun.
Do you think he really scored 1,200 goals?
I don't know, but it wouldn't shock me.
What about?
I didn't know that was his record.
Oh yeah, it's like 1,200 to 1,200. I'm like, I want to say like 63 or 73. I might be wrong on that, but it's for sure too.
It's
like
a lot.
1,200
It's a
plus.
lot. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. Other than Pele, who would be like your 2 and 3?
So probably Beckham,
Okay.
and then
too.
I don't know, maybe Landon Donovan.
You met Landon Donovan.
I
and
did.
David Beckham?
I did. Oh, I met Landon, not Beckham. No, we did a card deal with Landon Donovan. I think.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, he was nice.
I would say mine would be probably David Beckham.
Yeah, Beckham is the natural for everybody, right?
Just like the flair, the swag, the story, the girls, like
Yeah.
he had it all.
He
and
has-
he had a golden foot.
Yeah.
He did. I love that. As a volunteer board member, Ian, what do you find most rewarding about contributing your time and efforts to the Salinas Regional Soccer Sports Authority?
Just seeing, being a part of this place as it develops. I try to, lend value wherever I can. And now that we have the turf fields and it's being built out, I feel like now I can contribute a lot more. It's harder before that, because dealing with companies and sponsors and partnerships, a little bit more challenging because it's more of a fundraising. So we're still fundraising, but now that we have some of this, I feel like I can help these guys a little bit more.
So you just love like being a part of something, building something from the ground up.
Yeah, the ground up, and the fact that this could be the jewel of Salinas. It's in my backyard. Chance for me to give back and help put something, help be a part of something that help touches so many kids. I mean, the fact that 10,000 people will be coming here every weekend, probably more once all the fields are built. That's a lot of people. So if I can help have an impact, a positive impact on those people, yeah, that's a good thing. It's something nice.
Yeah, crazy thing is, when I was little, soccer was my first sport, and I used to play on these fields before they were all built up super nice.
Yeah.
I think our producer Aaron could agree because I think he's played soccer too when he was little. So
Yeah, my kids played here too.
yeah,
My wife coached a bunch of teams out here.
a lot of history,
little.
and memories here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's nice to see, where it was then.
Exactly.
They're coming home with their knees all banged up because, your potholes, the twisted ankles, all that. I mean, everybody, that was real.
Yeah.
And now that's gone and all this is happening back here. It's pretty awesome. So if I can just have a little bit of help, whatever that help might be, I feel pretty good about it.
It's come a long way.
Yeah. And just think about all the kids that now have opportunities because of this that didn't have it before, right?
Exactly.
And whether they go on and play, college or pros or semi-pro or whatever, it doesn't really matter. It's just the fact that this was a place for them to spend some quality time in a good environment.
I love that. I love that. Do you have a favorite soccer team, Ian?
I grew up in Oregon, so probably the Portland team. That would probably be my favorite. I love the smoke. I love all the stuff that these guys do. Them and Seattle have that rivalry. I don't get to watch as much as I'd like because my kids are still in high school and doing sports. But yeah, that probably just simply because I'm from Oregon. And been in California going on 28, 29 years, so I guess I'm Californian now, but still part of my heart's there.
Let's ask this because myself, I love this. I love this team. How do you feel about like Oregon, like the college, like the Ducks?
Oh, the Ducks?
Yeah. Do you have like a big like shrine to it since you're from Oregon?
I love the Ducks. Yeah, my brothers both wrestled there. Back when they had wrestling, they don't anymore. We used to go to Duck games all the time. So yeah.
Myself, I'm a big Oregon Duck fan. That's my dream school. I've been.
If you can get in there, that's a good school.
I've been there a couple of times.
It's awesome.
The
It's a
atmosphere
great college town.
is.
Their soccer's good.
Yeah.
Their facilities are ridiculous.
Their
Awesome.
sports is insane. That's
Yeah.
what I want because how you said you're passionate about sports and the marketing. That's what I want to go do in Oregon. I want
you're going to do the sports marketing program?
to.
Yeah,
That's
the
my
Warsaw Sports Market. Yeah, they're good.
yeah, especially Nike. Nike was founded there pretty much.
Yeah.
Prefontaine, Bill Bowerman, Phil Knight, and then all the sports are really good right now. Even baseball and softball is ranked top 10, both in the top 10.
Yeah.
Football went undefeated, won the Big Ten championship, and then lost in the Rose Bowl to Ohio State. I was there.
I don't know what game you're talking about.
The Ohio State game.
I'm kidding. We try to forget when they lose like that.
Oh yeah. I know. I spent like $1,000 just so they could watch them get smacked.
Yeah, that was tough. That was
Yeah.
rough. Yeah, I have those. The only two colleges in my house that we have is Oregon and GCU.
I love that.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah, we're big Duck fans.
I don't have my keys on me, but
Oh, nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's real.
yeah,
My nephew is there right now. He's a freshman. He loves it.
yeah, that's the dream right there. That's what I want to be.
Yeah,
But I love that you're from Oregon, so I can talk to you about that. What other sports do you enjoy besides soccer? Ian?
my kids' sports, so softball and volleyball. That's where I spend a lot of my time.
Do you have any experience with those other than your kids playing them?
I played a little bit of slow pitch, about 15 years.
Like
In
rec
San Diego, yeah. But we were more, we would travel around and play tournaments, Palm Springs, Vegas, Reno, places like that.
You loved your time with it?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Again, it was it's a whole bunch of your friends. You're out there, you're competing, you're playing.
It's good times with the buddies.
Yeah, it was fun. It was
I
a lot
love
of fun. It's just, the chance to go compete is always good.
I love that you had a terrific time doing your slow pitch and coaching your children. Have you ever won any sports trophy before of importance or non-importance?
When I was little, but none of those were that significant. Yeah, it was little league stuff. No.
No.
Nothing like my kids.
Are your kids studs?
Yeah, both of them are way better than I ever was, so it's fun to watch.
You can live your dreams to them.
Yeah, exactly.
But,
Exactly.
Okay, now I got some rapid fire questions for you, Ian.
All right.
What's your favorite song, artist, or album? You could answer any of those, just one of the three, two of the three.
So
whatever you
anything
feel
Kenny Chesney, I'm a fan of.
I love No Shoes, No Shirt, No Problem.
Yes.
Love that song.
Yep. And like I said, just about any of the songs are good.
Yeah, I don't know him that much, but I know that song.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one to know.
Yeah, it's a great song. What about what's your favorite song from Kenny Chesney?
Well, I'll give you a favorite song, Zach Brown, Toes in the Sand.
Never heard that one, but
But the Zach Brown band's another country, like Chesney.
So you're a country guy.
Yeah, pretty much.
How do you feel about Morgan Wallen?
I like him.
Yeah, you like what's his name? You like Luke Bryan?
Yeah.
Luke Combs?
Yeah, those guys are good.
No, I like listening to them.
Yeah, those kind of the newer country, right? Whereas Chesney's a little bit older.
Yeah.
Zach Brown's in between, and those guys are kind of the new country.
What about Zach Bryan?
Yeah, I like him.
Yeah.
He's got some good ones.
Seemed like a chill guy. Ian.
Trying.
Yeah. What about albums?
I couldn't name an album really, to be honest.
Some of your favorite albums.
So back in the day, after I met Garth Brooks, I became a Garth Brooks. I was already kind of liked him, but I liked all his stuff after that. After meeting somebody, right? You have that connection.
Yeah, you're like, oh, I know that guy. I
Yeah,
know that
yeah.
guy.
And it's just like when you meet somebody, you know, now that you went to Alisal, I was following them, but now I have, you know, I have a connection to Alisal. I'll follow them even closer because I know you. That's kind of how I was with Garth Brooks. So all his albums, I mean, so I couldn't really even necessarily name one. I like them all.
Just the one correction though, just because that's our rival school.
Oh, Alvarez.
It's
Sorry,
Alvarez.
I meant Alvarez.
Yeah, no disrespect to Alice.
Two A's over there and two
Yeah.
A,
No, yeah.
something, right?
Yeah, it's big rivalry town here. Yeah, we don't really like LSL, but no disrespect to them. You know, just some friendly competition.
Yes, yes.
But it's
I
Alvarez.
apologize.
No, you're good. You're good. Good. And then, do you have a favorite movie or TV show, Ian? Or like, just pick a couple movies, pick a couple TV shows.
Yeah, yeah.
Whatever
So,
you like.
TV show recently, Primeval.
Primeval?
Yeah.
I've never heard of that.
So, is it Netflix or Amazon?
I don't watch TV in a while.
I haven't either. I just catch things here and there, and I'm like, oh, I'll go, and at night I'll catch an hour here and an hour there. But yeah, Primeval, Primeval.
What's that?
So it's old Western. It's about the time of the Cowboys Indians, where they're still trying to find the West. And it was in Utah, and you had the BYU or Brigham Young with the Mormons,
Yeah.
the Indians, and the Cowboys all fighting each other, all just to survive. And it's supposed to be a true story about how it was back then. It's pretty amazing.
It's like three groups. Just like
Yeah, well, more than that, because there's more Indians than you know. You have a whole bunch of different Indian tribes fighting
Yeah.
each other, finding the Cowboys,
yeah.
fighting the Mormons, and they're all trying for this land.
So
It's
just like
kind of true because it's kind of how things shook out in history.
so it's like just like a war on land, like
Pretty much,
like history.
Yeah, it's worth watching. That's
Yeah.
how it was back in the day. So anyway, that was pretty captivating because it was a lot of history that I didn't know. That's how you hear about it, but then to see it,
It's like whoa.
Yeah.
Like, it's like mind opening, eye opening.
yeah, yeah.
Is there any other TV shows other than Primeval?
I don't watch a lot of TV, so
What about all time?
I mean, Modern Family was always good.
That's a good one.
Love that one. Yeah, I don't watch a ton of TV, but yeah, I mean, Modern Family was good. I'd have to think of that one.
Like Jerry Springer. Or,
Yeah, he was funny back in the day, but I never watched much of it.
oh, okay. What about like Full House?
Not
Not really. Not really? Okay. What about movies?
I'm trying to think of a good movie I've seen recently.
It could be all time too.
Well, I'd go with Maverick, Top Gun. Right, you can't go wrong.
Yeah, you can't go wrong. with that
So that's probably the last one I've been to theater to see.
one. Okay. What about like all time? Like a comedy, scary, romantic, horror.
Need some help on this.
Like
So I
Adam
think-
Sandler.
Yeah, I mean, I like a lot of Adam
Robin
Sandler. The
Williams.
comedy ones, with all Adam Sandler's ones are pretty good.
Like Zohan.
I don't know if I saw that one. The one where he goes camping with his buddies, or they go.
Grown Ups.
What is it?
Grown Ups.
Grown Ups.
That's a classic.
I like that. Oh, you know what one we got in our house a lot right
Which
now
one?
is the Christmas one with Wahlberg and Will Ferrell.
I think it's Daddy's Home.
Daddy's Home,
That's a good one.
and that gets played all the time in my house. So
It's a great one.
yeah, and I'm a fan of that.
It's a great one. Is there any other, or that's pretty much?
That would be it. Any the Top Gun movies were good back when I was younger. Star Wars, loved them all.
Are you like a nature guy? By any chance?
What do you mean?
Like, you have like a favorite hike or outdoor adventures
Oh,
that
yeah.
you would love to tell us about?
I grew up backpacking, and I grew up in Eastern Oregon, way out in the country.
Yeah, it's super nice out there.
It's pretty awesome. A little bit like here, but more remote.
Yeah.
So we would backpack a lot
Yeah.
in the Eagle Cap Wilderness. So I did love that. My dad and I went on that a bunch. Yeah, a good story from that. We were backpacking. You get a 50-pound pack on your back. You pack in your tent and everything. And I was just hiking along behind my dad, and he grabs me and pushes me against a tree. Just out of nowhere, he's all, "Get back." I had no idea what he was doing. All of a sudden, this whole herd of elk comes flying through. Like from me to you, the elk were, and they didn't even, it's like they didn't even know we were there.
How old were you when this happened? If you can remember.
12 or 13.
That was your favorite memory?
Yeah, it was good. Well, being that close to all that, not even having any idea that it was,
It's like, whoa, like it was
Yeah, it was
crazy.
pretty cool.
It's crazy.
Yeah, we used, and as an adult, we used to camp on the Sea of Cortez when I lived in San Diego.
Yeah, I've heard
So
of
we
it.
go down to Mexico and camp on the beach. It's pretty fun.
Definitely gonna check that out because me and myself, I'm a big nature guy. Been trying to do a lot of hikes. Recently, I've been to Big Sur a lot.
Yeah, it's fun over there.
So
too.
blessed to live like so close to like Big Sur. People come from all over the world just to like look around,
Yeah.
just to visit, and like we just live that's in our backyard.
It's
Like, we're
nice.
just so blessed about that. But do you have any pets, Ian?
We do. We have a dog, a little min pen. I used to have a bigger dog, so that's the battle in my family right now. Is does Daddy get a big dog? And right now I'm winning. So I think we're going to get another one. Yeah, we have Kylo the min pen.
It's great to
25 pounds of just terror. Yeah,
it's great to hear. It's
I'm
great to hear.
kidding. He's friendly. He's nice.
Is there anything that like throughout your journey that someone said to you or like an experience that stuck to you or like that like you tell people till this day?
Yeah, when I was in high school, so my senior year, we had a baseball coach. And we didn't understand what the heck it meant at the time. He says, he goes, learning how to learn is the hardest thing. Once you learn how to learn, he goes, life will be easy. I had no idea what that meant at the time. And then my junior year in college, ran into him again. He goes, hey, did you ever learn how to learn?
So what is that to you now? But you still don't know.
Well, I know now. It's once you figure out, what it is you're trying to do, to learn or whatever. Once it's just learning how to. What are your study habits? What do you do to get better? Is what he was saying. Learn how to learn. I was a pitcher back then. He's like, well, you got to go figure out, what is it you got to do to keep consistently doing what you want to do. Whether it's pass a test, throw a strike, whatever the case was. Learn how to learn. That's always kind of stuck with me. Whether I apply it all the time, I don't know, but I like it, and it kind of makes sense, and it applies to a lot of things.
Okay. Is there anything else that you would like to share about yourself? Anything? The floor is all yours, Ian.
No, this has been good. I enjoy helping out here. Hopefully I'm going to help out more than I already am. I think everybody kind of knows. We've gone through what I do a little bit here, so I'm good.
I think it's been great talking to you. It's been great meeting you. This is our podcast with Salinas Regional Sports Authority and Complex. It's great having you once again, and I think we're done.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
We're good.
A lot of editing.
Yeah, a lot of editing.
Yeah, it's going to take some editing.